So I want to talk a bit about something that I find very, very disturbing. Something coming in, you're seeing more footage of it. You've probably seen it on your For You page or on Instagram Reels or something like that. That's where I first saw it. These AI companions, but the ones that are not like cats or parrots or dogs or, I don't know, just robot shaped. They're the ones that are silicone and frankly look like they're trying to be human and trying to be used for a certain thing. Now, they're usually at like tech conferences. It kind of looks like that sort of vibe where they're being presented. And there's always some really enthusiastic, like old white dude saying their skin is just like...
There's no denying the skins are fascinating.
They have AI, and they're always very specific about having built-in AI. Now, I don't necessarily know why that is, but to me, it kind of seems sussy. It seems like they're really trying to drive home the fact that this is the future. This is like... you can have a robot girlfriend now. It seems like what they're trying to imply.
I'm your wife!
You're a WIFE. Wired Integrated Female Electroencephalograph.
Footage of these, the designs, the way they show it off, it seems pretty clear what they're implying, and that's, we're all adults here, you can assume it. It looks like they're building this robot, this device, with something else in mind. Now, a few things to consider. I know what we currently call AI, like when you go to ChatGPT or you go to something like an art generator, it uses a lot of information from the internet. It breaks it down, it kind of takes out key components, and it builds something based on your prompt. Well, so this isn't really AI in the way science fiction writers predicted AI. The idea of a consciousness, a soul, it's not really the same thing.
Can a robot write a symphony?
Can you?
Now, what's my point here? Basically, I don't like that we're rolling out this kind of robot first. Of course, Boston Dynamics, I think, built that robot dog that actually serves functional purposes. And I think even Tesla and Honda have worked on proper robots that are, walk around on two legs and do things. They could potentially do stuff for you. Whereas this robot, yeah, it could do stuff, but let's all be real. Its design looks like it's meant for something else.
Where are all the football stars? And where are the biochemists? They're trapped in the soft, vice-like grip of robot lips.
My issue with this is a quote from Star Trek, and that's the episode from Next Generation where Picard is tasked with proving that Data shouldn't be dismantled. A character wants to dismantle Data and take all the information to build other Datas.
But you admire him.
Oh, yes. It is an extraordinary piece of engineering and programming.
Yes, you have said that. Commander, you have devoted your life to the study of cybernetics in general.
Yes.
And Commander Data in particular.
Yes.
And now you propose to dismantle him.
So that I can learn from it and construct more.
And he's arguing that this is a new species, this is a new life form. We should create more. And Picard has that great line where he says, if this is a new species and we dissect it, then how will they judge us for how we treated their first one? How will they judge us for the way that we treated the first of it?
It could significantly redefine the boundaries of personal liberty and freedom, expanding them for some, savagely curtailing them for others. Are you prepared to condemn him and all who come after him to servitude and slavery? Your Honor, Starfleet was founded to seek out new life. Well, there it sits. Waiting.
And that's why I've even not liked things like the iRobot being the name of the company that makes the little vacuum robots. That seems a little insidious to me because, frankly, I don't want a robot doing my dirty work. That just feels wrong. It feels insincere. It feels like the robot shouldn't be tasked with that. I don't know. I still sweep up stuff. Now, that doesn't seem so bad to me ethically. What does seem bad is to build these silicone ones that are meant for, you know what, let's be real. They're meant for companionship to a creepy degree. And again, I'm not against companionship, but having been a diehard fan of science fiction and loving so many different science fiction portrayals of robots.
Which of these buttons calls your parents to pick you up?
It's my dream, personally, to shake hands with real AI. I think the human race, as a species, we're working towards something new, something different. For me, that's creating the life that is artificial intelligence. And again, we don't really have that now in the way that we've seen it in other things. So some different types of AI in science fiction we've seen is something like Star Wars, which is technically fantasy, but we can include it for the sake of discussion. C-3PO, R2-D2. They are, yes, they're robots, but they have weird built-in human issues like anxiety.
How did we get into this mess? We seem to be made to suffer. It's our lot in life.
They have fear, they make mistakes, they're fallible, and things like this make them almost seem human. In the Star Wars universe, the robots are kind of like the robots in Futurama, where they're basically people. They have, they're autonomous, they know what they want, they have dreams, and they pursue them.
I'm attracted to Bender, not this emotionless wine bucket.
Hopes deleted.
Whereas there's other portrayals of robots where they have absolutely no dreams, no visions whatsoever. Off the top of my head, nothing comes to mind, but you can imagine any science fiction where the robots are strictly there to serve us and that's it. And then there's a lot of other works of science fiction where you kind of see robots or artificial intelligence in that middle period where iRobot, for example, great set of short stories. In iRobot, in William Gibson's Neuromancer, a lot of other great fiction, the robots are kind of like halfway between straight subservience and developing a soul, and that's the conflict of the story. That's wherein the issues come from. And I worry that when you look at Will Smith eating spaghetti AI from like 2 years ago, and you look at it from now, it's amazing. The capacity for AI to create content vastly improves upon itself from even the day prior. So I think it's not unreasonable to assume that before long, AI could actually think somewhat the way a person thinks. Well, not the way a person thinks, but a robot could think in the way a robot thinks. It could actually think as opposed to compile information.
Could machines ever think as human beings do?
Can't think as people do. What is the point of different tastes, different preferences, if not to say that our brains work differently, that we think differently? And if we could say that about one another, then why can't we say the same thing for brains built of copper and wire, steel?
Pow!
I think there's a precedent there for us not treating AI this way as soon as we create it, you know? In 100 years, this will be looked back on negatively. And again, it's not very subtle. It's pretty clear what these are designed for.
The most sophisticated AI on the planet.
Daddy, can we get her?
Run.
Hang up. Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. Intel has told us there were at least 7.
Okay, I already see one given. Okay.
They're the same picture.
I think we should invent robots. We should develop AI. We should try to create that life. However, it should not be this.
Love me, sexy, back it on up and show and prove that loving me.
It should be this.
Excuse me, which of these products would you recommend?
Or this.
You stay. I go.
Or this.
Austin made that robotic dog, and he's using the super battery to power it? I need that battery.
It should be any of the science fiction that has talked about robots could inspire a way to create life that aids us, but we don't control it. We aren't subservient to it. And most of all, we're not, you know. Keep an eye on my channel. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. It's strange to just say that out loud, but, you know, got to start somewhere.